Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon. Super happy to be able to speak with you today. We're going to talk about something that is important to me that I think is a different way, really, of looking at your business, the business of car washing. Customer experience is one of these fuzzy words that has a lot of different meanings to a lot of different people. And we're going to dig into a very specific meaning to what customer experience is. So real quick bio on me. That's me as a dorky 8-year-old in front of what was a technologically advanced thing at the time, was a menu sign that when you pushed the menu or what item it was, it told you before going into the tunnel what you were buying. It was very advanced. The company was called CompuWash. My father started in 1980. I turned it into a POS. It was the first cloud-based POS system in the industry, sold it to Sonny's in 2009, and it turned into Sonny's Controls. I was VP of marketing and customer experience for a private equity-backed group of about 40 car washes when I left. Created Salespath, this product that is a tablet in the hands of your salespeople. We're recording, running through AI every single presentation, scoring, leaderboards, gamification. And now I'm proud to be part of the Rinse family. So that's me. You can email me there. So if we go to the next slide, what does customer experience really mean? Customer experience depends on the most advanced piece of technology in the universe. That is not hyperbole. It is the most advanced piece of technology in the universe. If we go to the next slide, it tells us what it is. It's the brain. The brain is an amazingly complex part of our bodies that we take for granted. Our brain has 86 billion neurons in it, each with a capacity to have 10,000 connections. That leads to a total of about 100 trillion connections. The electrical activity in your brain moves at about 268 miles per hour. Your brain has the ability to store about 2.5 million gigabytes of information. If you want to know, that's about 300 million hours of TV. I suggest memorizing more than that, though. But that gets us to really what we're talking about today. This amazing thing, our brain, is at the heart of customer experience. I want to do a little bit, show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes for a second. You can keep them open for now. What we're going to do is I'm going to say something, and I want you to really think about what pops into your brain when I say this. And it's not just one thing. There might be a series of things that pop into your mind. And I want you to really think, make a quick note mentally of what pops into your mind when I say this, okay? So close your eyes if you think you're ready. This is actually a hypnosis tool. You're going to buy our software at the end of the day. Just kidding. It was a joke. Okay, so think about what I'm about to say. What pops into your mind? Your last vacation. What's in your mind right now? What are you picturing? Anybody want to volunteer some of the things? All right, so where did you go? Okay, random, non-destructive. What came into your mind? Okay, colorful umbrella, waves, beach. Okay, so if you think about what just popped into your mind, it was almost dreamlike. It was jumping from one thing to another. And that's what experience is. Experience is memory. But what the brain does is the brain does not just record your experiences like a video. That's not how it does. What it does is it cycles through what it thinks is important and what it thinks it can discard. Now, it has a certain way of going about, of thinking about what it wants to hold on to. And if we go to the next slide, these are kind of some of the things that get stored in memory or cause it. So what's happening is, from my very basic research, I'm a car wash guy, not a neuroscience guy. It's going from the hippocampus to the neocortex. Okay, so you have this like short-term memory. It then gets stored into long-term memory. Stored is kind of a funny word to say because we're talking about chemicals and electricals that not even neuroscientists know where they are. Where are they actually getting stored? It's fascinating to think about how that even works. But as it's getting stored, it's moving from short-term to long-term memory. In that long-term, it's not remembering everything. It's remembering the umbrella and the beach and the sun. For you, it was another list. Maybe it was a sound. Maybe it was music you heard. Maybe it was a smell. Smell's very closely tied to memory. But this is memory. This is what it is. And so the number one thing is emotional. Anything connected with emotion is going to get remembered, highs or lows. And so while that's going from short-term to long-term, the amygdala, that's where our emotions are getting generated. If that's firing, then that encoding process is stronger. This is what PTSD is. This is what trauma is. This is also the beautiful memories from our vacation and childhood. When they're connected to emotions, they get remembered easier. Novelty and surprise will also cause people to encode this to memory. The peak and ending, the GOAT of behavioral psychology, Daniel Kahneman, he did this peak end study. Very interestingly, they did a study of people who were doing colonoscopies. I know my audience. And so they did same group of people. It was they even made more painful, but they purposely made it at the end to be less painful for 1 minute. The people who had the less painful end of 1 minute remembered it different than the people who had more pain. The ending was key to how it encoded to memory. So think about that as we move on. Vivid sensory details. Our volunteer here said one of the things that popped into his mind was a colorful umbrella. Makes perfect sense according to what neuroscience tells us gets encoded to memory. A personal connection. So social interaction, our connection with one another, this can cause it to be remembered. The other big one is semantic, which is meaning. When we have a meaningful experience, that's also going to get written, not really relevant to car wash experience. But these 5 things are really how the brain is deciding what to hold on to long term. So let's go to our next one. Experience equals memories. That's what it is. And if we go to the next slide, customer experience is specifically memories that they have about your car wash. Now, we're going to talk about 10 moments, and we're going to see how our knowledge of how the brain creates and stores memories is going to help us to create the right ones. So if we go on here, principles here, just 4 of them. You want to be thoughtful and intentional. If you are just copying the competitor or saying, I guess this is what car washes do, that's not being thoughtful and intentional. You want to be able to regularly audit and discuss each moment with your team. So, okay, we're going to get to it, but we're standing across the car wash. We cross the street and we're just watching. What do we feel? What are we seeing in this moment? What do customers see in this moment? And that's the kind of process you want to go through on a regular basis. Now, I know they're regional managers. This is part of what they do. They walk the site every single time in a certain order. It's a really important process to see your business from the eyes of your customers, specifically with the thought of what are they going to remember? What are they going to encode to memory? Easy first, wow second. I'm a big fan of Will Guidara, his book, Unreasonable Hospitality. He gave a speech at the Northeast Show. Fantastic. If you've never been to his restaurant in New York City, it's a wonderful restaurant. But it's kind of the 4 seasons approach, right? Of these wow moments that people have. It's like, you got to go out of your way. And that's important. That's great. But it's not scalable. It's very difficult to do at a car wash reasonably consistently. And so the first thing we want to do is make everything easy. Remember, we talked about the emotion. Frustration is a very powerful emotion that ties to memory. If it is frustrating at any point in the journey through your business, they're going to store that to memory in a negative way. And so we all know that you're more likely to put a negative review on Google than you are a positive one. Why is that? The positive ones are not really connected to that much emotion. The negative ones are. So when they're frustrated, oh, I'm putting something on here. But if you make everything easy, it's also better for you to now have moments that stand out. So easy first, it should make every process easy. And then if you can get to those wow moments, great. But start with easy. Easy is where we make our progress. And then lastly, you have to talk to humans. I grew up in this industry. We are mechanics. We are chemists. We know we want to spend time in the back room. We have learned over the years we need to get outside, right? It's not just about being in the back room. You need to understand the customers. But I also see it happening today, maybe not in back rooms, but people poring over spreadsheets and data. All right, what does this data mean? What does that data mean? Go outside and talk to your customers. Jeff Bezos has this great line, when the data and the anecdotes don't line up, lean into the anecdotes. You learn so much from talking to actual humans. I think it's one of the most underused techniques, probably in any industry. I stole it from this guy, Paco Underhill. When I was a marketing consultant for a couple of years, I would do this. I would go to a client. I would go to a Walmart or a grocery store right in between them and a competitor. I would grab a loaf of bread, and as I walked around the store, I'd say, excuse me, ma'am, you recommend a car wash in the area? I got to wash my car. Do you know if there's any in the area? It would be amazing how much you would learn about their business, about all of the hours they were spending on their business from those grocery store interactions. Oh yeah, you like that? Well, how come? Why is it so good? Well, they do this or they're this. I wouldn't go to that one over there because of this or that. Yes, it's anecdotal, but you learn so many insights from these conversations. You might learn that they don't know your name, but they like the wash. They don't like the wash. The other place is faster. They think of you as cleaner, the other one as cleaner. You learn so much, but you have to talk to people. So all of these 10 moments we're going to look at now, just think about how you can talk to customers about their impression, not your impression, their impression of each of these moments. Okay, so let's talk about these 10 moments. In reality, there's probably 40, 50. These are 10 main ones. It would be weird to call this talk like 42 moments that matter. 10 kind of is more clickable. So let's talk about 10. So the first one is when they notice the car is dirty. This is kind of off-site, but think about it. They have now realized they're on their way to out and they get out of their house and they go to the driveway or the garage door opens and they're like, oh crap, my car's dirty. That's bad. Or they're picking someone up from the airport. In that moment, just like your memories of your vacation started going through your head, their memories about car washes in their area are going through their head. What are they remembering about you? And so we're going to talk about all of that. But in each of these moments, what we want to do, you kind of see our formula here. We want to see about what is this customer in this moment doing? What are they thinking? What are they feeling? And then we see our 5 what's getting encoded on the side. Are any of those at play here? So, okay, in this moment, I've come out, I'm grocery shopping. I got the cart, I'm walking to the car and I'm like, yeah, that's pollen lately. That's really dirty. I should do something about that. And so now what are they doing? They're looking at their car. That's what they're doing. They're just looking. Okay, what are they thinking? They're thinking it's usually some type of shame. It's like some type of guilt. I just bought this car. I said I was going to take better care of it than my other car. I really should get this thing washed. This is leading into their emotions of what they're feeling. Okay, so now let's get to the car wash. Let's go to number 2. No, yeah, so now they're drive-by. Okay, you have to stand outside in front of your car washes. Go across the street and just stare for a while. What do people think? Have you ever done that with a friend? Or you could even get a customer if you're brave. Can you come with me? Stand back here. Okay, turn around. What do you see? What are you looking at right now? Where's your eye going? I don't know. I see this. I see that. Really? Okay. Well, in the industry, right, we talk a lot about the big sign should say car wash, not the brand, unless you have an amazing brand, or it should be very clear from the street that this is a car wash. This is kind of car wash marketing 101. Big car wash sign. Why? As they're going by, we're not worried so much about the brand impression unless you're a big group with a regional presence. But we want them to know, hey, when you do think about your car being dirty, I want you to think about me. So I want you to know this is a car wash. What else do they see? What are they doing? They're probably on their phone. They're listening to music. They're thinking about where they're going. They're not looking necessarily at your business. So windjammer guys, right? They work. They do something. They have novelty. So now we're starting to get into, in this area, if we're talking about what gets encoded, some type of novelty could get encoded here if it's different. A sign spinner every once in a while, a mascot. These are not just cheesy tactics. These are tactics that understand how memories get created. Again, it's not an everyday thing because it will get boring, but this novelty as people are passing by every once in a while could be how you can create a memory. What are they feeling in this moment? Not too much towards you. This is more about awareness. Okay, let's go to the next approach and entry. Okay, so now they've pulled onto your property. They've made a decision to visit you today. Okay, we've gone through, I realize my car's dirty, I want to visit. What are they doing? They're driving, they're in the driver's seat. What are they thinking? Where the hell do I go? What do I do? What's next? How is your wayfinding signage? Is it clear where the entrance is? Is there a big arch saying member lane or retail or cash lane? Is that very visible to them? Is there clutter, sign? They're not looking at signs at this point, so you can market to them all you want, but what they're doing, thinking, and feeling is not about, I'm looking for signs. They're thinking about, I want to find how I get into this place and give them my money. Okay, so what's getting encoded? Emotions are starting to get in there. If they feel anxious because there's cars crossing, it's a busy Saturday and the lot is a little funky and people are backing out of stalls, you might want to think about, maybe we do need a traffic attendant on busy days. Why? Because they're feeling anxious when they don't know how to get over there and they're afraid of running people over or hitting other cars. And so novelty and surprise could come into, with your arch or there. But this is what people are doing, thinking, and feeling in this moment. So again, you're going to stand at your wash right when you ingress, and you're just going to look. What do people see? Not in a busy time. Don't get run over. But think about what the customer is seeing in that moment. Let's go to the next one. The moment of sale. This is obviously an important one for me. We built Salespath because we thought this moment of sale was very invisible to our operators. How do you know what's actually being said out there? And so this moment of sale, we've put all of this investment into our business, right? Millions of dollars into this business. But when it comes time, this is a cue thing. Okay, this will work? Okay, I got something. Okay, so in this moment, they're thinking about, well, what is the value of the menu? Menus are one of the things that are a personal pet peeve of mine. In this industry, do we know the difference between our top package and the middle package? And I'm not talking about what's included. I'm talking about the value to the consumer. What's the difference between ceramic and a polymer or carnauba? Do we know that in this room? Do we expect our consumers to know the value difference between these things? If we're just throwing a bunch of icons up there, the consumer does not understand. We need one line. Hey, our ceramic will shine and protect your car longer than any other product we have. This middle one, you're gonna get tire shines. People love the way their car looks with jet black tires. The bottom one, hey, it's still good, it's a basic wash. Whatever it is, it's one line, but it has to be about value. Salespath, we process about 30,000 presentations in the driveway daily. We run all of those through AI to understand what's working and what's not. We then connect that to the individual's conversion rate and what they're doing right or wrong. And what we see is so much of, hey, do you want the $24 wash, the 18 or the 15? That's not value to the customer. This is one of the most important moments. If you look over at what's getting encoded, this is triggering all 5 of what we talked about. We have emotional highs and lows, confusion, frustration. Is the person being nice to me? Are they being rude? Are they being friendly? We have the personal connection on the bottom, potentially novelty and surprise as we give them dog treats or draw on the window for the kids or give them a lollipop. We've got peak and ending. This is could be the peak moment when they're actually interacting with an employee. We have sensory details. They're hearing, they're smelling the tunnel. And so this is just a critical moment that I would just encourage you to just spend a lot of time on, because it really makes the difference between low sales and really high sales.
In the back.
Okay, so the loading experience, this is another critical one. I think, I visited hundreds and hundreds of car washes. One of the things I always look at is the loader. If you can get your loader to smile and be friendly, like that is an operational execution level of performance that is really difficult to get to at consistency and scale. A smiling loader, but it's so important. Why? Think of what they're doing, thinking, and feeling in this moment. They're the most anxious they're gonna be. This is what the flat belt conveyor are banking on. They're anxious, it's hard, I gotta get in the right spot. Now listen, most of our customers are members now, they get used to it, so that's fine, but it's loud. And one of the most common things I see is when you get into that loading area, it looks like a Guantanamo Bay prison. It's dark, it's musty, I can barely see the person. I can't hear what the paddle with the neutral, no brakes is dirty. Like, think about that moment. Put more lights in there, cover the walls with some bright white. Have, the entrance arches are nice too, but take it to a next level. Personally, I think this is one of those moments that we've really undervalued, because this is when I'm doing the thing. I'm getting my car washed. I'm getting on there. As a consumer, this is a really important moment, and we don't think about it enough. We ignore this moment. So really go into your loading bay. It's not that expensive to put up some more lights, make it brighter, throw some panels on the wall, but really think about what the customer is feeling. Have you ever driven with a customer in that moment? Or watch YouTube, TikTok. There's lots of videos of people going through car washes for the first time. This is a high anxiety moment. So think about that one. Next one, in tunnel. So in tunnel, I'm kind of a little anti-industry on this one. I know we have a ton of lights and let's do all this stuff, but if you talk to customers, they're not really paying attention. They're on their phone. Now, everything's sudsed out. Car wash operators are the only ones who actually put the windshield wipers on to see what's in the tunnel in between pieces of equipment. The customer's not. It's foamed up. So some lights, hey, that's great. Throw some lights up there. We've got sensory. You want to do a scent shot? We used to do that where I was. Love it. It's great. But just recognize that the customer, and this is another really important part of customer experience and memory. A passive customer is not remembering nearly as much as an active customer. When they're in the tunnel, they are the most passive they are ever going to be through the car wash experience. And so their brain is kind of turned off. They're passive. They're not really doing much. Doing, thinking, feeling, they're probably on their phone. They're probably thinking about something else. They're not like, ooh, what kind of top brush is that? That's us. That's not them. So think about it from their perspective. Next one. The tunnel exit. This is another one I think we really undervalue because of that peak end rule that Daniel Kahneman discovered. It's the end of the experience, especially if they're exterior. And so I would say 9 out of 10 car washes do not have signage when I'm coming out. Just thank you with some big image of somebody with a smiling face with some kids in the back seat or something. But just thank you. Thank you for coming in. We hope to see you again soon. But a big sign as you come out that tunnel. This is a really important moment because what are they doing, thinking, and feeling? They've woken up now. They're not passive anymore. They're active. And so they're like, all right, where do I go? And so they need to find their way out. All right, so we go to the next one. The detail and amenity zone. I mean, this is one that I think is this is the future of car washing because of what we understand in neuroscience about how we remember things. This is the most active the customer is going to be in the entire experience. Their brain is in a different level than when they're in the tunnel. And so now when they're outside, they're moving, they're vacuuming, the whole IKEA effect thing. They're seeing the vacuum lines in the carpets. They're taking pride in that. It's why our industry is the size it is today, because we found out that, oh man, consumers actually like this. They like doing it themselves. And so lean into that moment. What is the signage in that? What's the towel situation? Do we run out of towels? Think of the frustration. Yes, you say you have free towels. I go over there. They're not there. Where do I put them afterwards? What amenities? I really believe in giving away a lot of amenities here. I've seen it work so well. It's a marketing expense. Think of it as an average. Yes, it's consumable. Some of them are going to walk. But it can be really powerful because when you talk to customers, the human beings in this area, they really feel good when they have everything that they need to clean their car. Okay, so we can go to the next one. And again, that one's a key one because all 5 of those elements are getting fired on what they're remembering. Member management. So this is another thing. Churn. Stop worrying so much about churn. Churn is trial. Okay, so you have a retail customer. Hey, retail customer, I really want you to try this membership thing. I think you're gonna like it. I don't know, do I really need unlimited? Just try it for me, please try it. Fine, I'll try it. Try it. 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. I'm still only washing once a month. I don't know that this thing is worth it. I'm gonna go back to being retail. The problem is our data, we shine this light on our membership data. And so we have a really good picture of how many members we have, how many times a month they come in. But once they get out of that spotlight and they go back to retail, they're invisible to us, they're gone. I guess they're dead now. They're not, they're there. We even see it, if you saw Austin's talk this morning, we see it in how much value there is in marketing to your existing members, because they're still there. So we want as many people as possible to try this thing, and they might cancel. But if we make it, and this is the key, if we make it easy to cancel or to change or to pause, then we're golden. Then they feel fine. Their emotions are not getting high, frustration. Now I can't cancel this thing. What, you guys are robbing me. You're ripping me off. I didn't know this thing was recurring. If you make it easy, now they might churn, but they just go back into retail. And if you see people with really high member counts, the churn is higher. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. So member management is super important. Some type of portal, some type of member app where it's easy for them to cancel, pause, change. We go to the last one here. Just that lasting impression. This is all your advertising. Try to be creative here. Don't just do what everyone else is doing. What are they doing, thinking, feeling? We're trying to create these memories. We're trying to trigger off of what all of these other things. In fact, the next moment here, let's go to the next moment. We're back to number 1. They've noticed their car is dirty, and all of those memories that we've encoded or encouraged them to encode now come into play. Hey, my car's dirty. I know exactly where I'm going. I'm going to this car wash because of all those memories. So if we go the next one there, you just want to audit. Just make it a process. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. It's a different way. It's a framework of looking at your business. You can scan this to download this worksheet that we've made of the 10 moments we've talked about. You might even give this to different employees and ask them, how do you think we're doing in this particular moment? You might walk around with the whole team and say, okay, guys, what do we think that the customer is doing, thinking, and feeling here? And you get amazing responses from your employees. They're closer to the customer than you are. We have the curse of knowledge. We don't know what we know about car washing. We need people who are more like customers to do that. And so that's something you could download. I think that's the last slide. Q&A.